For a long time, if you were doing serious AI coding, especially for React apps, it felt like, well, a closed shop, you had these big, expensive tools, Bolt, Lovable, kind of the Goliaths dominating things.
Absolutely. It was basically, if you wanted that top-tier AI help, you had to pay up. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But the sources we looked into today, they show things are shifting pretty fast, actually.
Yeah, we're looking at this combination Quests, which is a free open source desktop app builder, paired up with the DeepSeek V3.1 model. And here's the twist, maybe the surprise. This completely free setup, it seems to be giving a developer experience that might actually be better than what people are paying, hundreds a month for.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Oh,
Yeah, this really feels like a classic disruption story playing out. And our sources give us a really good, detailed look at this new open source challenger.
so our mission today is to really unpack how this works. We need to get into why this combo is effective, look at the design thinking, this kind of cheat code for getting high performance for free, and the actual day-to-day workflow.
Right. And importantly, we also got to look at the limitations. It's early access, so we need to be real about what it can and can't do right now.
Okay, so to really get this David versus Goliath thing, we should probably start with the old guard, right? The closed systems Quests is up against.
Exactly. For years, if you were a pro-React dev using AI, you basically bought into those closed, costly platforms. Bolt, Lovable.
Mm.
They set up that kind of high barrier to entry.
And Quests is the app, this desktop builder, that seems designed really to just flip that script, to show that open source isn't just for playing around anymore, it's ready for professional work.
And the real clever bit here isn't just the Quests app itself, though it's neat. It's how they handle the AI model access. They get this powerhouse performance for zero cost by plugging into DeepSeek V3.1.
Which, crucially, they access for free using OpenRouter. Now, for anyone not familiar, OpenRouter is like a switchboard for AI models. It lets tools like Quest tap into really powerful models like DeepSeek without being locked into one vendor or paying those direct API fees.
So this mix free app, free pro-level model, suddenly gives you a dev experience that's right up there with the paid guys. But, okay, if it's free, what's the design philosophy? What makes it tick?
I think it's really about subtraction, minimalism. If you want speed and efficiency, you cut out everything else. Like you said, it's the focused, streamlined linear, not the massive do-everything Jira of app building.
Yeah, that comparison clicks. Bolt often feels like it's trying to be the Jira, every possible feature crammed in. Quests feels way more focused, just the fastest route to getting that UI built and working.
And you see that focus in the interface itself. It uses these browser-like tabs, which means you can spin up several different AI agents building completely different things and just tab between them, like instantly.
It's super clean, yeah. Minimalist design avoids all that feature clutter. Plus, because it's a native desktop app not running in a browser tab, it's really light on resources. We're talking like 200 megs of RAM maybe, compared to gigs for some of the browser-based ones.
They also made some smart choices on the tech stack underneath it all to keep it fast, using Vite for the front end, not the heavier Next.js, and Hono for back-end stuff.
Right. Those choices make sense for an app focused on building UIs quickly. Using heavy Next.js can feel like using a semi-truck to, drive across town. Overkill. Vite is more like that nimble sports car you need. And they use something called ORPC to tie it together, basically a way to make sure different parts talk reliably and securely. Keeps it fast and consistent.
So that lightweight approach, why does that really matter for the developer using it day to day?
It just means less friction, faster setup, the app feels snappier, and you can multitask much more smoothly. Okay, let's zoom in on that DeepSeek V3.1 part, because that's the core of this free performance thing. It's kind of the cheat code, giving you unlimited professional level AI for coding, for free.
And we should be really clear here, so this isn't some, budget model they found. DeepSeek V3.1 genuinely holds its own against models like Claude, even GPT-4, for actual coding tasks. This feels like a moment where open source performance really caught up.
That's huge, because it means it's good at the hard stuff, generating complex code, helping debug tricky issues, even brainstorming architectural approaches, stuff that usually takes a lot of manual effort.
So for a solo dev or maybe a small startup team, the value proposition is just stark. You get pro-quality code, fast responses, almost no usage limits, and it costs nothing. That fundamentally changes the economics of building software.
It almost sounds too good. Is there like a hidden catch with using DeepSeek via OpenRouter? Like, do they throttle you eventually?
Not that we've seen reported. The benefit seems to be genuine access. They've managed to separate the model's power from the usual licensing cost structure. Now, that multi-tab workflow you mentioned earlier, that's what really takes Quest beyond just being a code generator. It makes it feel like, yeah, a supercharged web browser, but specifically for building apps.
Right, like imagine you're juggling 3 different client projects, maybe a movie tracker app, a Minesweeper game clone, and some complex UI components. Normally, switching between those contextually, it's a nightmare. You lose so much time.
But with Quests, you just pop open a new tab for each. Each tab has its own dedicated AI agent working on that project. Switching is just like changing browser tabs. Minimal friction, keeps your head clear.
And the instant preview. That's kind of magical when you see it. As soon as the AI generates the app, boom, there's a fully interactive preview right there in the panel.
Yeah, you get the visual immediately. Plus, it gives you a live local host URL, so you can instantly test it on your phone, tablet, any device on your network. And there are one-click buttons to open the generated code in VS Code or Cursor, your editor.
How does that live local host feature change things, that instant feedback loop?
It just cuts out so much waiting and friction. Instant testing, easy sharing with clients or colleagues for feedback. Okay, let's do the reality check, though. This thing is labeled early access. It's important. It's not a fully polished, finished product yet.
And the biggest single issue right now, the thing stopping you from easily taking a prototype into full production, it's the lack of support for environment variables.
Ugh, yeah. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes, so I get wanting perfection. But that environment variable thing, it's a hard stop for many real-world apps right now. If you need API keys for external services, databases, anything like that, currently you can't really integrate them easily.
So yeah, there are other missing nice-to-haves. You can't attach images to prompts, no fine-grained element editing yet, can't import an existing project. But that environment variable issue, that's the main gatekeeper preventing full production use today.
But then you zoom out again. This is brand new. It's being actively built. It's open source. And it already delivers, what, 80% of what you need for really fast prototyping and learning? For free.
So the trade-off right now is pretty clear, isn't it? You get amazing speed for UI prototyping at zero cost, but back-end integration is basically off the table for now.
Yeah.
So if I can't use API keys yet, what should I focus on building with it?
Stick to UI-heavy stuff. Building component libraries, simple single-page apps, learning React patterns, anywhere that instant preview gives the biggest boost.
Okay, let's do the head-to-head, the tail of the tape, right? Quests versus the big guys like Bolt and Lovable.
Speed and responsiveness. It feels like Quest gets a pretty clean knockout there. Being a native desktop app just makes it feel snappier. Lower memory use, faster startup than the browser competitors.
Workflow, though. That's maybe more of a split decision. Quests is definitely the champ for pure, rapid prototyping. Getting a clean React code base for a UI idea, super fast, minimal fuss, nothing seems faster for that.
But yeah, the premium tools still justify their cost with those endgame features. More advanced integrations like built-in database connections, authentication handling, better features for teams working together.
And the enterprise stuff, right? Security guarantees, dedicated support contracts. That's still the stronghold for the paid tools.
So if you look past the specific features, what's the biggest advantage the paid tools still hold on to?
Probably those advanced integrations, collaboration tools, and that robust enterprise-level support structure. Mid-roll sponsor read, to be inserted here by the writer.
Okay, let's pivot a bit and think about the bigger picture here. The strategic angle of this whole thing, this combination, free, plus open source, plus genuinely high-quality performance, that mix really does change the game.
Yeah, for an individual developer, it's just liberating. Zero cost to learn and experiment. You're not burning expensive credits. You get full control. You can actually modify the tool if you want, and absolutely no vendor lock-in.
And for small teams, startups, this could be huge operationally. Wipes out those potentially hefty licensing fees right at the start. Plus, the lightweight stack might mean less technical debt down the line, keeps development moving fast without breaking the bank.
It's also just a statement, isn't it? To the whole software world, it proves the open source community can build a truly credible professional alternative to these closed, expensive systems. It kind of levels the playing field.
How does that democratization, that leveling, specifically help maybe newer developers or students just getting started?
It just lowers the barrier completely, makes these powerful AI tools accessible everywhere, speeding up learning and innovation globally.
Yeah.
All right, so if someone's listening and thinking, okay, I want to try this, what's the process? The pre-flight check, the setup, it's actually dead simple, like 5 minutes. Download Quests, install it, go to OpenRouter, Set it up to use DeepSeek V3.1. That part's free. Point quests to it, create your first project. Done.
Okay, and then for flight school, actually using it effectively, some best practices. First, yeah, start simple. Don't try to build your magnum opus on day one. Focus on those single-page, UI-heavy things where the AI really shines right now.
Second, get good at prompting. Be really specific. Tell it exactly what UI, what UX you want. Mention responsive design needs, even specify, use modern React hooks or whatever patterns you prefer.
And when you're optimizing those prompts, what's maybe one detail people forget to include?
Maybe specifying accessibility requirements, or naming a specific component library you like, maybe Tailwind or Material UI. Those details help. And third, really lean into that multi-tab workflow. It's powerful. Build variations of a component in different tabs to compare, or build out a whole library of reusable components, one per tab. It multiplies your output.
Looking ahead, the roadmap for quests is where things get really interesting, because this is being built out in the open by the community. And that can mean development moves incredibly fast.
Yeah, the top priorities seem clear, those foundational things to make it production ready. Getting environment variables working, that's critical for API keys, adding database integrations, maybe Supabase first, and solid project import-export.
Whoa. Just imagine scaling that community speed, right? Adding those key features maybe faster than a big corporate team could even plan them. That potential for rapid, sustained improvement, that's the real long-term threat to the established players.
And then looking a bit further out, medium-term stuff people are asking for. Things like collaborative editing so teams can work in it together. More deployment options pushing straight to Vercel or Netlify, maybe a library of shared app templates.
And it's worth remembering, if you use it, you can influence this. Go star the project on GitHub, submit really clear, detailed feature requests, explain the why, and if you code, maybe even contribute directly to speed things up.
So, boiling it down, what's the single most urgent thing on that roadmap to get quests ready for real production apps?
Definitely support for environment variables. That unlocks all the external API integrations. It's the essential infrastructure piece.
So let's recap the big idea here. Quests paired with DeepSeek V3.1 feels like a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
It's offering a genuine free, open source path for serious development without really compromising on the quality or the performance you get.
Yeah, the direction seems pretty clear. Open source AI tools are catching up fast, achieving parity with the premium stuff. This is about giving developers real choice, making these tools accessible to everyone, everywhere.
So the simple recommendation we took from the sources: if you're currently paying for Bolt, or maybe Lovable, just spend a weekend with Quests. Seriously, kick the tires on that rapid prototyping workflow, see how it feels. The time you save might genuinely surprise you.
It feels like the open source revolution in AI development is really here. It's started. The only real question left for you, the developer listening, is, can you afford not to be exploring this?
Thanks for diving deep into these sources with us today. Lots to think about.
It really is an exciting time to be building things. We'll talk to you next time.